I think one of the hardest things to do. I think one of the hardest disciplines to develop in this world, in the current world, I guess, is that of waiting, of patience. Um, I think if anything, this time is trying our patience. I think if anything, this time is a time in which our patience is being tried. It's in that we're all kind of waiting, and we're all kind of hoping, and we keep on watching the news, and we keep on reading our newspapers and hoping for the day in which they're going to say, okay, you're good, you can come out, things are open again. Especially it begins to get nicer outside, and we're kind of itching to be out and to go places and to see people. And I think if anything, patience is what's kind of being worked on a lot of us this season. And what's interesting that we just began, after Easter Sunday, we just began this season that Christians have called for centuries, the Eastertide, is the time in between. So what happens is that in the Christian calendar, we have Easter Sunday, and then you start counting 50 days until the day of Pentecost, and that period, it's the period that the Bible tells us happened between Jesus' resurrection and the coming of the Spirit upon the church. And I think that's an interesting season, and it's interesting that we're experiencing this kind of, because Eastertide is, if you will, is that season in between, waiting between two manifestations of God. And I think we are now in this interesting period, in this season of waiting. The Bible tells us that Jesus, when he was ascending to heaven, he told his disciples that he will send his Spirit upon them, and they have to wait. We keep on watching news and why not, and we keep on hearing, the peak seems to have passed. It seems that we're kind of coming to the other side, and we get excited about when they're going to say, we'll finally be able, we're going to ease restrictions. And it seems that day after day the answer is like, but let's wait. And that's the sensible thing to do, wait until wait until the numbers are evident that they are flattening up and kind of start slowly open. Anyway, and it's interesting that we're in this kind of season of in between and with our lives, in which spring is upon us, and we're all kind of itching to go out and start living our regular lives, but we are told to wait. And I imagine that's something similar to what those early disciples were feeling, where when they experienced the power of God to raise Jesus from the dead, and they're ready to go and preach those news, and they're ready to testify that, but Jesus keeps on telling them, wait, because you are not quite ready yet. You need the Spirit to come. And I think that's the trick of learning to wait, knowing that there's still things that God wants to show us, that there's still ways in which God wants us to grow before we're free to go into whatever it is that comes next after this. And then, of course, we'll come to learn that the day that the Spirit came, the disciples were joined together all, and they were in prayer. They were waiting. They were praying. They were hoping. They were expectant. They were waiting. Maybe that's our call for us now, as we wait in this time in between, as we wait to come out, if you will, of our cocoons. Maybe it's a time for us to prepare ourselves for whatever it is that God wants to do in our lives and through our lives on the other side. And that's one of the hardest disciplines to develop, as I said. And I think that's maybe the invitation of this season. It's time for us to learn to wait, to be patient, and to trust that God.
I think it's terribly dangerous for an artist to fulfill other people's expectations. I think they produce their general